Welcome back, ProGuides family. My name is Nathan Ng, and today we have a surprise patch update. Just 1 week from release of Valorant, and we have patch 1.01, which brings some nice changes that should stabilize performance and hopefully reduce the amount of people leaving my games. Or yours. Or not. Anyway, on to the real updates. Spike Rush was updated to include a variety of new orbs. The first of these new orbs is called the Health Orb. Health Orb will grant a team-wide heal regen buff instantly. This buff will last for 20 seconds and will grant 12 HP per second. The next orb to be added is called the Deception Orb. This orb now applies paranoia to the enemy team for 3 seconds after its capture, and it lasts for 10 seconds. In this 10-second window, vision will be drastically reduced, and on top of that vision reduction, fake footsteps and gunfire will affect the player's hearing. Man, I really wouldn't want to be that guy. The final orb to be added is called the Golden Gun. Once captured, this orb will grant the capturing player a golden gun that will one-shot kill any enemy. You'll have perfect accuracy just like Jett's Bladestorm. You'll also be able to move at knife speed, and on top of all of that, it has 2 backup rounds. If you get a kill, you'll receive an additional bullet. This sounds a lot like the one in the chamber type gun. Maybe this gun could have its own standalone game mode in the future, but who knows. Moving on from Spike Rush, we have some small but meaningful map updates. The first of which can be found on the brand new map Ascent. With the new map comes new problems, but it is good to see that this surprise patch they are fixing some of these issues with the new map, and I'm sure some of us have experienced these. The first fix was a few spots that fixed the whopping potential. Along with that, we are seeing fewer guns fall through the map, which is always nice. On the rest of the maps, we have seen modified callout names to better match what the players are calling the positions. Finally, no more new players being left in the dark about what the positions are called. This change is sure to help new players feel more included and actually know what we're talking about. Now finally, to get some good news about the FPS, let's talk about performance updates. In the patch note, Riot says, the game should feel even smoother in combat and many scenes will likely have higher average FPS depending on your spec. This is great news for sure, as FPS has always been a big talking point in Valorant, and any new performance updates are always appreciated. The first specific FPS point they're talking about was during combat. Riot says we were able to fix a number of things causing dips during combat. They went on to say that for 90% of players, skins were failing to preload the first time around that you encountered the skin, meaning the frame rate would drop as a result. This is a bigger update than some people may realize. If new players are going into the game and they're having bad frame rate, they might leave the game prematurely and never give it another chance. Moving on to the big topic of the patch, the FPS increases on mid to high spec PCs. Riot says that they are able to improve the CPU bottlenecks in a few places across the code as well. Lower spec machines may still benefit from some of these improvements, but would only see the gains during combat. This is what people must mean when they say they get gains, right? This is great news for all medium to high spec gamers. At least for me, the FPS experience with Valorant has been very iffy at best, and I'm really excited to see these new changes. The final thing covered in the patch notes was the quality of life changes and bug fixes. Although there was a total of 7 QoL changes and 23 bug fixes, we are only going to be covering the important ones. If you'd like to read them all, a link will be in our description down below. The first quality of life change was to Sova's recon dart and will now behave more consistently, only to reveal the portion of the enemies behind the wall. Although the change is nice, we don't see anything bad happening to Sova's tier list ranking anytime soon. Moving on to the bug fixes, we have 4 involving the new agent, Reyna. Although the first 2 are barely of note, the last 2 are something I'm sure a lot of players have noticed. When overhealed, Reyna would sometimes show a total of 151 health when maxed. But this was just a bug, and we now no longer have the ultimate tank in the game. Sad times. The final change comes from a big shock to me, as now the area of effect indicators for Sova's recon bolt and Reyna's lair can only show up on the enemy's minimap if the players or their allies are close enough to be affected by the area. This is a huge change, as you can no longer tell if you should rotate based off of her lair. Before, if you saw Reyna's lair and Sova's recon dart, you could assume that they were hitting the bomb site if it was late in the round. But with these changes, you'll be missing a few seconds if your teammate is not near the dart or the lair. This will give more leeway for the attackers, as every second counts when the spike is about to go down. The last noteworthy fixes are Cypher's spy cam, and they will no longer be teleporting its view location when plays on the door frames behind bind. And Cypher's cyber cage no longer will be able to hold the teleporter doors open. I didn't even know that this was a thing. That's kind of awesome. Also, a bug was fixed that caused the timer to be a few milliseconds off, and a few issues were fixed that made it hard to whisper players with the same name, as well as the other chat messaging issues. For our tier list we do each patch, we're going to be keeping it short and sweet, just like these patch notes. The only true agent change was to Sage's barrier orb cast range being reduced from 20 to 10 meters. While any Sage nerfs at this time are helpful, and this is a bigger one, it is still not enough for experts to move her down from the S tier. Her kit is almost untouched from the last patch, and while this change will punish her a lot more for poor positioning, it will not lower her viability within the team. We hope that you guys enjoyed this patch rundown, and if you guys want to read the whole patch notes, the link is going to be in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for the great support and the comments down below that you guys leave, as they're always encouraging for us to create new content such as this. If you want to keep up to date with news like this or want to see more awesome and informative guides, don't forget to subscribe. I've been your host, Nathan Ng, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day. Peace.